Good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to greet the governor. Thank you for being here, and also Jorge Viana, who was my partner in the government, in the Senate, and we worked together for a long time. Thank you all. Minister Fávaro, Minister Rodrigues. When I was invited to come here in this event, I was told that I didn't need to do a lecture. I only came here to talk to you, and I thought that I would have someone to ask me questions so that I could agree and disagree. But I understand that from the theme that was put here, that was asking me to discuss, I believe that we producers, people from the cattle raising, from the agro industry, we'll see this moment, and we can also see that we have a lot of difficulties. Logistics, fundings, integration, port, train stations, roads, highways. But if we look back 40 years, when it was exactly when I arrived in Mato Grosso, if we look back 40 years ago, then if we compare, at the time we learned what difficulty was. We had no roads, we had no hydroways, and I remember that when I went to Brasilia to be part of the sea soja, which was promoted by Silmar Miller in Porto Alegre. We went to Brasilia to complain about that it would be impossible to produce here in Mato Grosso. And I had a drawing. We didn't have slides. We had projectors, and I used to say where Mato Grosso was and where I wish Mato Grosso was, where we should work. And the comparison was very simple. Today, Mato Grosso and Midwest is the ugly duckling of production. So the minister at the time, they didn't even think of giving us a funding. But at the same time, when we look at the difficulties at the time, I saw that we could transform, we could become as one. And that's what we are now. A production of a little bit more than 500,000 million tons in the Midwest, leading all this movement of agriculture, cattle raising, and also the pork production. So we overcame all these problems along the years with the work of thousands of people, thousands of unions, associations, everybody doing his share of the work. And until we could get better organized here in Mato Grosso, and then we became like a model for the rest of the country when we producers said, hey, every time we have to go to Brasilia to defend our interests, we have to have a big barbecue and be able to stay in a good hotel. This was not fair because we had to pay to call there. So we decided to create our own associations. That's why we had Ampla, ProSoja, Abrapa later, and all these entities were created with fundings so that we could defend of our sectors in Brasilia. And obviously, the achievement we had in the ministry, in agricultural minister, we had room to work, room to get defended. And since then, after we had Romero, but since then we had room, like associations, to defend our interests. So why I'm telling you that? Because here internally, there are thousands of actors to solve the problems. Now we have Mauro Mendes, our governor, who is doing a new revolution in the what concerns to our logistics. Thousands of roads being built, recovered, and all this is it means money to our sector. It, it decreases our cost. So there are thousands of actors and the government doing its part. But when we got here, when we talk about G20, who can do it? Who can give it power? Who can help Brazil to keep on conquering new space, new markets? Only, only the mapping of the Ministry of International Relations and all the governments that can negotiate and withdraw the barriers or even put barriers, protective barriers. So this made us get to this G20, going to a meeting which is extremely important, where the 20 most authorities in agriculture will be reunited for 4 or 5 days. And our minister and all his team from ABA will have conditions to negotiate everything, all the matters that are late. We can discuss possible points in the future, possible negotiations for the future. We will not open new markets, and Favre said that it was more than 120, 150. We will not open new markets, we will not keep if we do not allow that the same market that buy from us sell to us as well. For many times, the agricultural sector does not have this understanding. Sometimes one of our sectors feels harmed because they have cut, opened the imports of fruits, so they allowed us banana from Ecuador. Well, this market is come and go. It's a two-way trade. So far, with G20, together with the private initiative, we have a great opportunity to lead the things that are missing, as I said, and open new negotiations, new agreements, and also having the Minister of Agriculture present. I was very critical until I was the minister. I had so many trips, so many participations that our technicians did in every area. So many things that we have to do outside. But if we are not present, new rules come, new legislations come, and when we see it's done, we have no one else to be to complain. So we must, every time we are requested, we must do the discussions. We have to put the cards on the table and discuss our interests, the interests of agriculture. Congratulations to you all. Thank you for coming to Mato Grosso to visit us. And I hope you have an excellent week. I'm sure that if you go to Malai, you will love because it's a great hotel. Thank you.